You're probably watching this video because you may suffer from mystery chronic symptoms, anxiety, or maybe you're just tired of the conventional healthcare system not giving you answers. Actually, they're what I like to call our sick care system. And you're just more interested in a holistic health and healing approach. By the way, you're my people. So in this video, I'm going to be completely vulnerable and let you in on my story of how my world got rocked by the sudden onset of mystery chronic illness 9.5 years ago, how I left our conventional medicine system altogether and went completely holistic, healing many of my chronic illness symptoms. So if you want to learn how I did this and how you can also jumpstart and ignite your healing power within, keep on watching. Hey guys, my name is Kelly Nelson with Kelly Nelson Health, and I am super excited to be filming this video because it is my very first YouTube video ever. And this has been something that I've been dreaming about for about 5.5 years now, as soon as I started going down the holistic healing approach and seeing progress and answers to why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And now that I have set a foundation, started my health coaching business a few years ago, and really know what works and what doesn't work, it's time. And I really want to build a community around a root cause approach and just spread the ripple effect that, yes, Western medicine does have huge advantage in society today, acute situations, of course. But when it comes to chronic illness, mystery chronic symptoms, anxiety, all of that, it's not about masking our symptoms. It's about getting to the root cause of why we're feeling that way in the first place, and then implementing strategies and implementing things that will ignite the healing power within ourselves so that we no longer have the issue or the symptoms. And so I really invite you guys along. I am so excited to be doing this. I can't wait to build a community and meet the people who are like-minded like myself. Let's go ahead and get right into my story about how I ended up where I'm at as a health coach today. So about 9.5 years ago, come on, Kelly, you can do the math. Come on. I was 27. See, I got there. I was 27 years old, living in Los Angeles, California, where I was born and raised, with my boyfriend in a beautiful home, lived a couple blocks away from my family and my sister, who I am super close with, had a full-time job, and was also building a wedding and event planning business that was going great. I loved life. I had so much excitement for life and experiencing things. Everything was going great until it didn't. One day I woke up and out of the blue, my spine was burning. It hurt really bad. It was a really bizarre pain that I had never experienced before, but I just kind of wrote it off and said, okay, it'll probably just disappear. Within a couple of days of that, it felt like my ovaries kind of had that same feeling, and I just didn't know what the heck was going on. Like, how did it go from my back to my ovaries? Like, what? And I called my gyno, and she was like, oh, honey, maybe you're just like ovulating and, it's going to be fine. And I'm just like, okay, great. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And then the next day it went into my arms. My arms started burning, and it felt like I had worked out for about 100 hours. Washing my hair hurt. Washing the dishes hurt. It wasn't normal. Like anything that had to do with lifting my arms, it just killed me. And I could go on and on about how the symptoms progress, but basically, put it this way, in about a week, it went completely body-wide. And when I say body-wide, it was body-wide. My whole entire system went haywire. I couldn't go to the bathroom normal. Sunlight hurt my eyes. I was super sensitive to light. Even noise, I was super sensitive to noise. My anxiety was through the roof. For those of you who suffer from anxiety and have experienced panic attacks, they're horrible. I don't wish them upon anyone. And it literally felt like I was stuck in a panic attack. It was a nightmare. And everything hurt. My joints hurt. My bones hurt. I couldn't sleep. It felt like my adrenaline was on high. It was on high alert, and I didn't know why. And I was so taken aback. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do, but of course went straight to my doctor. And I got a CBC blood panel done, and he said, I'll never forget the words, "You're healthy as a horse." And I said, okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, but I don't feel like a healthy horse right now. I feel like a dead cow. I don't know. I just felt dead. And it was the scariest time of my life. I didn't know if it was something that I was just going to experience for a couple days, a couple weeks, or if this is something that was going to continue on for quite some time. I was so lost, and I felt really alone. So on I went from doctor to doctor, rheumatologist, neurologist, gastroenterologist, the list goes on. And basically, it felt like whatever doctor I went to, they specialized or they diagnosed me with something that they specialized in. And it was always like, take steroids, or here, take this antibiotic, take these anxiety meds, take this depression medication. And I never said yes because I just followed my gut, and I knew my intuition told me that that was not the route to go, especially because they were all contradicting each other. So I just said no. And I just felt more lost, and more lost. So when I was pretty much at my all-time low, to the point where, this is hard for me to say, but to the point where I didn't know what the point of living was if I was going to be in that much pain. And I just hit rock bottom. And I went into, I don't know why, but I went into my walk-in closet at the time, maybe because I love clothes, like I'm a fashion girl, so like the closet was calling. But I walked into the closet, I dropped down to my knees. Mind you, this is not coming from a religious or a spiritual person at the time. Dropped down to my knees, put these hands together, and I prayed. I prayed to God to please give me answers. I promise, God, if you give me answers, I will do everything in my power to help others. Please, God, please, God, please, God. And as I'm crying and screaming and sobbing, I open my eyes, and right perfectly in between my knees is a penny face up that says, "In God we trust." And in that moment, I'm not being sarcastic. In that moment, I would say about 75% of the anxiety I was feeling completely left my body. And I had this calm overcome me, and I just knew that everything was going to be okay. I didn't know how, I didn't know what that looked like, but I knew that everything was going to be okay. Then the following days, I became obsessed with the fact that my thoughts brought me to a place of less anxiety. And I just started obsessing. Like, how is it that me thinking a certain something got me to feeling a certain way? Like, what? Okay, yeah, it makes sense that there's a connection there. And then I just start going down this rabbit hole. I'm like researching, how your thoughts make you feel certain things. And I read and find some phenomenal, astounding information. And it was all about brain retraining, mindset, all of that. And I found that a lot of people actually suffer a lot of physical symptoms because of their certain brain patterns and the mindset that they have. So I knew I had to delve in, right? So I took a few courses, 2 separate programs, one Annie Hopper's DNS program, and then the other is Ashok Gupta's program. They're both wonderful, wonderful programs, and I'll do another episode on those another time. But doing those programs and retraining my brain made huge strides in my healing process. Humongous. So that just goes to show that my thought process, the way that my brain was working was creating a lot of these physical symptoms. And alongside studying brain retraining, I was also completely delving into a holistic healing approach and completely making a promise to myself that I'm leaving Western medicine because they just simply did not have the tools or the answers. And I started to realize how my diet, my nutritional intake, my lifestyle, my choices, my habits were all a part of why I might be feeling a certain way. I do believe that I hit a breaking point, and I think over the years of my life, I was continuing to make choices that were not serving me, definitely not making me healthy or optimizing my health. And I think I just hit a breaking point. My body couldn't take it anymore. And it hit its threshold, and I developed all of these symptoms. And I know for 100% fact, if anyone is experiencing chronic mystery symptoms, it is because of the same thing. Your body has all of a sudden hit a threshold, and it can no longer serve and function properly in the way that it's supposed to. And I know with everything in me that you guys can get to a healing place just like I did. A way that I like people to think about it is, imagine our bodies are a car, right? And there's a check engine light that comes on, and we just ignore it. We ignore it. Days go by, weeks go by, maybe even months go by. And yes, your car can run for quite a bit of time, but there comes a point where your car will just blow up. It'll no longer work. I don't know if it'll actually blow up, but you know what I mean. The engine will go crazy and not be doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it'll just come to a crashing breaking point. And that is what happens with our bodies. So knowing this knowledge and what it would take, I completely transformed my lifestyle. I was radical, and people probably looked at me like I was crazy, but I didn't give an ish because I knew what I had to do for me. I knew that I had to heal because I wanted to live again. I wanted to enjoy life again. And I knew that it was on the other side of this mountain I had to climb, and it was going to be tough, but I knew it was there, and I was going to do everything in my power to get there, and I did. So I read books, I went to seminars, I talked to functional medicine practitioners who are root cause practitioners and were definitely going to be on my side of things. I did everything. I went to the market and bought nothing but whole foods. And it has been hard. I've been on this holistic healing route for about 5.5 years. It hasn't been easy, but I will say it becomes easy. It almost becomes like second nature. And to be honest, everything that I do for my healing journey, making my food, making the right choices, implementing a beautiful morning routine, having the right people in my life, everything that I do is an act of self-love. And when you love yourself and you're creating these acts of self-love, you are happier. You are living a more fulfilled life. So fast forward to now, where am I at? So this all happened about 9.5 years ago. I told you guys a story about the penny, how I was really interested in the mindset thing, and then I delved straight into the holistic healing route. And I've been on this journey. I got rid of a ton of my physical symptoms, but I'm always going to be completely transparent with you guys. I did not get rid of all of my physical symptoms. So that being said, I always did continue to research, but this is super important, and something that I want you guys to know and remember is that, of course, you always want to be proactive and you always want to find answers, but you cannot just spend all day, every day researching. Not only is a lot of that research information incorrect, unfortunately, but it can drive you crazy. It can exacerbate your symptoms. It can send you down this spiral that makes you feel really low and lost, and the list goes on. So it's important to still be able to live your life as much as you can, whatever state you're in, just as much as you can live your life, and still, every now and then just kind of plug in and like, hey, what can I do? What book can I read? Or who can I talk to? What holistic medicine practitioner can I speak to get some more answers? So that's kind of where I was at. I was still researching every now and then, but I was living my life fully and completely. A lot of my friends and family were like, God, Kelly, I don't know how you do it. You're still in pain, but yet you live this beautiful life. And yeah, because life is still happening. My life is still here, and I'm not going to let it be over just because this has happened to me, but I am going to continue to be proactive and find answers. So about 6 months ago, my husband and I moved to Florida. We were just kind of settling in our home, and I was upstairs. I don't know how I got here, but I was researching something, maybe some symptoms I was experiencing, and I came across this woman, Connie Fox, and she had severe heavy metal toxicity. And I had already been tested for heavy metals quite some time ago, and they came back normal, but she did mention that getting a hair analysis test was very indicative of your actual levels compared to urine and blood, which I do believe I got urine at the time. So I don't know how accurate that information is, but it sparked interest. And I thought to myself, okay, it can't hurt. Let me do a hair analysis. And so I got the box sent over to me via postal mail, did the hair test, sent it back. She calls me a week and a half later and tells me that not only am I toxic with heavy metals, but I am a very severe case. My numbers were through the roof. Mercury, aluminum, a lot of other levels that were within this lab test were also just completely off the charts. And she told me that this was my answer. So after 9.5 years, you can imagine, I dropped to my knees, I cried to this woman, and I said, I have been looking for you for 9.5 years. She knew exactly how I felt. We had almost identical symptoms. She completely healed herself. And I just went full throttle, like, okay, tell me what to do. I'm in. And so I enrolled in her program, and luckily her program is actually pretty affordable. And I've been on this program for about 2 months now. I haven't seen any progress yet, which is completely normal. I shouldn't see progress for about 6 to 7 months into the program, because first it's prep, and then it is starting to detoxify your body, and then you start taking these binders to get the metals moving out. Symptoms can actually get a little bit worse during that time. But I'm just really excited to see where I'm going to be at in a few months from now, and I absolutely will share my journey with you guys moving forward. But something that I had to tell you guys that is super significant. When I was going over these results with this amazing practitioner, she said, "Okay, Kelly, I have to bring this up. This is bizarre. I never really see this. Even though you're severely toxic with these metals, you're also secreting a ton of these metals as well, simultaneously. And you don't usually see that." She said, like, usually it pockets itself in different parts of your body, your muscles, your joints, but it stays there. It doesn't really move out of your body. And I immediately knew it's because of the lifestyle I adopted and how healthy I eat, etc. So when I explained to her my entire lifestyle, she said, "Okay, that makes sense." So that just goes to show you guys, like, mind blown, right? I was accidentally healing myself. Of course, after all these years, I was so severely toxic. Would nutrition itself or lifestyle habits completely get these metals out? I don't know. It probably would have taken years and years to do. And of course, I'm so grateful that I found answers. But, I'm a severe case. Which goes to show we are meant to heal. We are put on this earth with all of these resources that are supposed to be our source of healing. Yet our system is just completely out of whack, and we're in this model where we just want to throw medicine, throw antibiotics, throw steroids, throw anxiety meds to mask symptoms instead of getting to the root cause. When we have the answers within us, we have them in arm's reach. And I can't wait to show you guys in all the videos to come more modalities, more ways that you guys can promote healing within yourselves. Which leads me to my next thing. You guys can start implementing healing strategies right now, like this second. I'm going to put right here in the link below my free symptom reducer morning routine guide. You guys, creating a morning routine for me was a game changer. And I know it will be for you too. The trick, consistency. You gotta stay consistent with it. Now, that being said, you have to have the right mindset in order to be consistent. So what I can tell you right now in this video, because I only have so much time to tell you this, is to make a vision board. It can be on your cell phone, it could be on a poster board, it could be on a piece of paper. Make a vision board of what you want your life to look like in 6 months from now, maybe a year from now. And put that next to your bed. Look at it every night, look at it every morning, so that your mind is always on that vision. And that will really help you guys stick with this morning routine, keep you consistent, and in turn reduce your symptoms. All right, guys, if you've made it this far, be sure to like this video because it does help with the algorithm, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to learn how you can self-heal mystery chronic symptoms and anxiety. You can also turn on the bell notifications to be notified when I post my next video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.